Hello everyone. In this little segment we are going to talk about faxing with the desktop BizHub 4050 devices. And we want to talk about two different things. First, we're going to talk about simply how to send a fax. And then after that, for the administrators who manage and take care of the one-touch quick address books of the fax addresses, we'll talk about how to enter new and edit, delete the ones that are in there. But first we're going to talk about how to send a fax. And the first important thing is that in the document feeder up top, when you send faxes, you want to have your pages face up in the document feeder. The top goes in first, but that's less important. Just remember that through the document feeder, it's face up. If for some reason you were doing a fax off the glass, you put it in the top left corner, face down on the glass, face up in the document feeder. So you put your pages up top, and then you come back to the main screen and you go to the fax area. Now it's going to take you straight to an area that's called favorites. Now right now there's none in here, but these are the ones where of all the addresses that you have preloaded, the most important ones are the ones you use most often. You can have those not only under the address book, under the alphabet under address book, but you can have them here on this main screen. So central office, bus garage, maintenance seem to be some of the more popular ones when I was going HR, when I was going around to all the schools. So if those are the ones you use most, you can have them here on the main screen. So as soon as you come to the fax area, they're right here. But for those and all your others, they're going to be under address book. So you go to address book and here's the alphabet. So I've loaded a couple here under ABC. I've got central office for, C for C and central, and I put Hawley in there as well under H. So it's as simple as you come in, put your pages up top, face up, you go to the fax area, come to address book, and you highlight where you want to send it, touch start, and on its way it goes. If you have something that you need to send to multiple locations, you can go through here and highlight each and all of them, put your pages up top. When you touch start, it'll dial that first number, send it, dial the next number, send it, and so on. When you send a fax, by default, it's going to give you a report letting you know that just the result. So whether it did go or didn't go, it'll give you a report. Usually there's going to be an area that says result, and that's going to say okay. If something happened, that area is going to give you a different little name. And right below that, there's a glossary, and you'll be able to see, did it ring busy? Was there no answer? It didn't get a dial tone, whatever the case may be. If it does try and send a fax and it rings busy at the other end, it'll try 2 more times before it stops and runs that report saying it couldn't make it through. So again, what we did was we walked up, put our pages up, came to the fax area. If they're here under favorites, you can highlight them here or go to address book through the alphabet, highlight where you want to send it, touch start, and it goes. Back on this screen, on the favorite screen, there's a button in the bottom right called application. There's a few things you might need to use every once in a while here. One is resolution. You've got something that's already been faxed once or it's kind of degraded. You've got really small writing or something. You might want to come under resolution and up that resolution, making it a higher definition. Don't have to, but you can if you want to. Also, there is one that says Simplex Duplex. That is one-sided and two-sided. So if you have two-sided paper in your hand and you need to send a fax, you come under application and you can turn on two-sided so it'll keep everything in order at the other end. Now this does not make it print two-sided at the other end at that fax machine, but it'll make sure that all your pages go in order. There's also a few other things. You can scroll here. There's density is where you lighten and darken. So there's a few different things, and again, this is the application button on the favorite screen. If you need to send a fax and you do not have a little preset button for it, right beside favorites, there's a button that says direct input. You highlight this, you go to fax, and here's your keypad. And it's my understanding that almost all locations have to dial a 9. So however you dialed on your old fax is how you'll dial on this. So for instance, you dial 9919 and continue on. That's going to be how you send a fax with these devices. For the administrators, I want to talk for a second about how to load and edit these little one-touch buttons that I've shown a couple and talked about on this favorite screen. So when we're on the menu screen, you go to Utility. Number 2 says One Touch. and then number 2 says fax. Here's where you can add and edit and delete. So let's say that I have under ABC, I have central office loaded, but that's important. I want to make that a favorite. So I can highlight that here and edit becomes available. And under edit, there's an area that says favorite. I'll turn that from off to on and touch OK. Now when I go back to the main menu, Central Office shows up under favorites. Also, it shows up under the address book under ABC. To load a new one, you go to Utility. Again, number 2, One Touch. Number 2, Fax. We're going to touch New. Touch the area beside name. And for this purpose, I'm just going to make one for CEI. You have lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. When you touch Shift, they go uppercase and your symbols change. So I'll say CEI. Touch OK. Fax number, touch the area beside fax number. 99197810222. When you touch OK, it's going to ask you to confirm that, just to make sure that you did it right. And touch OK. When it takes you back to this screen, you know you entered that number correctly twice. If it asks you again to enter the fax number, that means there was a discrepancy between the first time and the second time you did it. It will continue to ask you until you get 2 consecutive ones entered, and then it'll take that. Again, if I want to make this a favorite, I can put it on the favorite screen here, turning that on, but I have just loaded another preset for CEI. So now when I come to fax, I have 2 here on favorites, and I'm also again under the address book as well. So if I needed to send it to 2 different people, you can see that it's going to send it to 2 destinations. You can highlight both. If you don't need one, you realize you can get rid of it. You go back under Utility, number 2, One Touch, number 2, Fax. Let's say I don't need CEI. You can highlight that, and then here you can delete it. And it's always going to ask, are you sure? And I'll say OK. So I just deleted that one from the system. So that's how you can edit and load new fax destination buttons. Know that when you're naming these, it's very possible that you're going to have your name will carry over and not be kind of neat. You can work with the number of spaces you put between words to see if you can, if it matters to you, if you can have, you know, Central Office versus Central and then OF and FICE or something like that. All right, if you have any questions, just give us a call here at CEI. Thank you.